This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
And welcome back. We're live from Kelly's Furniture and Carpet One this morning, and we're in the kitchen, which means it's time for our cooking segment. And this morning we have the famous egg lady this morning, and she's showing us how to make a traditional Spanish treat known as flan.
Good girl.
Which I've had before because I'm from Arizona.
Oh,
and,
okay.
But what I did not realize is that there's eggs in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a custard.
Well, there we go.
Custard.
Now I know.
Right. Okay. Well, if you call it a flan in Missouri, people will still respond. And they will not think anything of it.
Okay.
It's just like, okay, this is the hardest part. And look, it's perfect. I really like this induction stovetop. Look at that. What I did was put a half a cup of sugar in there, and I want to turn this baby off.
There we go. There we go.
And I caramelized it.
Okay.
So this is the finished product. Before it gets to this point, you think something's wrong. It looks like hail or sleet or snowballs that didn't work.
Okay.
So what you do is once it gets golden, it will continue to burn brown because the pan is warm. So you put it in the bottom of a container.
Okay.
And immediately swirl it around so that it covers the bottom like that.
Okay.
And that is your caramel coating.
Look at that.
Now it's time for our weather lady to do her job. Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to put 3 eggs in the bowl. Okay.
All right.
I'm so glad that worked. If it doesn't work, I have an alternate system, which I will relay to you at the end.
Okay.
This is a half of a recipe, and a full recipe would call for 6 eggs.
Okay.
Okay,
So
now lump them up. And this stove, you can stand here and work on the part that you didn't use. So you do have a lot of cooking surface left.
So we have 3 eggs.
3 eggs. Now I'm going to tilt the bowl so that last yolk gets. Okay, now I'll do that. And you put in the Eagle brand condensed milk. You know the difference between evaporated milk and sweetened condensed milk.
Yes.
This costs more. And because of this, we will not even put any sugar in here.
Look at that.
It's
So you want to put the whole can in?
This, and 2 cans if you were making a full recipe.
Right. Okay.
So and then just pour that in. That's a plain old evaporated milk.
Okay.
Or you could use plain old milk right out of the carton.
Okay. Okay.
But I like to use evaporated milk because you don't have to refrigerate it when you travel. Okay, we'll mix this up. Now put in a half a teaspoon of vanilla, please.
Okay.
And
half a
sprinkle
teaspoon
of salt. I laid out the half teaspoon for you.
And you're putting in salt as well?
Yes, and that's all. That's all. So anybody can do
1,
this
2,
part.
3. So 5 ingredients.
That's true. Did you count the
No, I did
sugar?
not.
Okay, well that's still not very many. Okay. Did you put salt in?
I did put salt in.
Okay, very good.
And
That
I'm
is
sorry, how
done.
much salt?
She put some in her hand, about a fourth of a
pinch,
teaspoon.
a pinch.
A little
Okay.
This girl is a perfectionist. She's not going to let us get away with anything. Okay, so now all you do is here's my caramel.
Okay.
And this is my mixed up egg and milks. Pour it in. And you bake it, but you do not bake it just like this. You need to be aware that this is going to be baked in a water bath. And the reason for that is this is so delicate and so satiny that you don't want it to get coarse and buckled at the outside edges.
Gotcha.
So
you don't bake it in you don't bake it in the oven.
Yes, you do.
You do,
but you put it in a
water.
pan with
water.
hot water around it.
So is this
and
what
that,
we have for here?
That could work.
Okay.
Yeah, I can illustrate that.
Okay.
So you put
because I've never heard of a water bath before.
bath?
I mean, I have for people, but not for food.
Well, food needs a bath too once in a while. And so you pour hot or warm water around it. Bake it at 350 for an hour or more until a knife comes out the center clean.
Okay. Now we've had a little taste of this, and actually I was really surprised on the texture of this, because when I think of eggs, I guess I think of scrambled eggs, but this was really smooth.
I think it's like satin.
Yeah.
It's different from a normal custard. A
Right,
normal
exactly.
custard is it's like custard, but this is very dense, and I poured this to show that you could also put it in a small container.
Oh, so to have like an individual size.
True.
Okay.
Servings.
Right.
So
Okay,
really
gotcha.
quickly, because when we came out, we already finished the caramelized sauce. What's actually in the caramelized sauce?
Sugar.
That's it.
Sugar.
No butter or
Actually,
anything?
if you write in for the recipe, it'll say add a little water to it. Don't do that. I'm going to take that out of the recipe. It just makes it bubble up, and it burns too quickly. So just plain old white sugar in a hot bowl on your nice induction stove, and stir it. So. And it'll caramelize. But first, it'll get little lumps in it. You'll think, this is not going to work.
Okay.
Keep stirring. And if you have trouble cleaning up afterwards, cold water overnight, and that caramel, which is now stuck in the bottom of this beautiful skillet, it'll be gone.
How much water do you put in?
You bring
In
it up
around.
about an inch.
Okay.
Bring it up about an inch. To the pan. And then I want to tell you why we made a flan, but I can do that after you come back.
Perfect, because what we
Okay.
need to do is we need to toss it to our birthdays and anniversaries. For all those people,
Yes.
our viewers that are celebrating their special day, we hope you enjoy your day, and we'll be right back. And welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're live from Kelly's Furniture and Carpet One, and we're in the kitchen with the egg lady, and she just taught us how to make flan. And before we went to break, you said you were going to explain why it's called flan, or why or why the Hispanic
why we
culture.
should care? Okay, if we didn't have Mexico to protect us against the French, we might all be speaking Southern as you speak, because during the Civil War, France was going to enter the United States and support the South, and they were coming up through Mexico, but they were stymied by the Mexicans, who were outgunned, outnumbered, and the French army at that time was the best in the world. And so thanks to the brave Mexicans who stopped the French, of course they were trying to take over Mexico as well, I made this for Cinco de Mayo. Even so, think about this next year.
Yes, for your
what's it,
celebrations.
May 6th and May 5th.
May 5th.
Okay.
Cinco.
So,
Cinco.
and this is
Yep.
how you get it out. If you have a little one like that, you just turn
Look
it
at
upside
that.
down, and it will just sort of fall down. There
There
it
we go.
goes. And
that's why we
that's
put
how
the
you all
caramel-
mold it.
the
Yeah,
caramel and sugar on
there's
the
a
side.
little left in the bottom. Are you going to sample that?
I
on
am going to
there?
sample
All right.
this.
And you were telling me that in Arizona, where you worked, the Mexican people would bring this in and have it with their coffee. for
Yeah, like a breakfast, yeah.
Well, I'll be darned. I think of it as a dessert.
right,
And it's really satiny.
And I said you could also serve it with some, we served it with vanilla bean ice cream.
Whoa. Okay, and it needs to be chilled, but room temperature is fine. So
Again, I'm just so surprised on the consistency of it. I
it's
mean, very
it's
smooth.
different from a regular custard, and it's just remarkable. And as you can see, it's very easy to make.
Perfect.
And if you don't want to do the burned sugar, you can pour maple syrup
Love
over the
it.
top, or
Love it.
butterscotch syrup, or frangelica.
Perfect.
Something like that.
And what we'll do is we'll post the recipe on our website at heartlandconnection.com. Just click on the Good Morning Heartland Features tab at the top of the homepage. We hope you have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you right back here on Monday, Memorial Day. Have a great day.
But don't you